Here we go into the champion select. Is fazz going to go with the team that we've seen him use so many times before? Nyx, that's definitely one of the three. Are we going to see him go for that Anarchy and Sorlag as well? We see the Anarchy.
Looks like Vo Gamer going for Sorlag himself. Could we actually see a mirror match?
Potentially. Depends on if Vo picks Nyx and if fazz picks Sorlag.
We are back on Blood Covenant though again. A map I expect we'll see quite a lot. Ooh.
No, this time he goes in for the Blaskovets. I wonder if that's a direct answer to Sorlag on the other side.
In fact, Vo was actually... The team you just talked about, Vo is using against fazz.
How about that?
That is interesting, to say the least.
So one of the main things that we do see when it comes to champion select is we see Blaskovets picked when the opponent picks someone with a lot of health. You know, it's just, I think it's naturally one of those things that Blaskovets will just do really well, is because he has that dual wield, it will heavily increase his rate of fire. I believe it's like 1.5%.
It recently got toned down. I know it was a lot higher when he first came out, but that, like, again, you know, quite recently there was a patch that toned it down a bit. So I believe it's...
Single shot weapons will fire faster than the full auto, but it's still either way a fast increase, which naturally if you're using something like a lightning gun definitely seems to be the sort of the go-to weapon.
Anything
if you're
that
playing
hits fast, you know, like lightning gun, heavy machine gun, even like, you know, rocket in the right hands or rail if you're accurate enough. Like almost like, well, that's the point, right? Any weapon you have is going to make you do a ton more damage.
But he's one of the few champions in the game that can actually, he is unbelievably lethal on spawn, because even when you dual wield those SMGs, he can still do massive damage. But here we go, it's going to be fazz versus Vo. Both players going with Anarchy first. Definitely not surprised to see this at all, but either way, fazz opting to go for the LG before getting the Mega Health. Probably confident he'll be able to get both, but Vo as well, going to be able to sort of cycle around the map. Both players going to have insane mobility, but Vo, he's going to have access to that rail already, so he's going to have the advantage from distance. Misses the rail flick though. That's going to leave fazz with that health, and there we go. Now both players have access to a rail. Seeing as they're both playing as Anarchy, that's dangerous on both sides.
Oh, but he does manage to tag the rail. Vo a little bit lower on health now. Has to be really careful. Lost all of his armor. Oh, wow! And that first blood with almost that psychic rocket. We didn't even see it connect, and Vo goes to Sorlag as the second character choice.
I think he would have been content with just taking that rocket and getting out of there, let alone getting the frag, but he knows he's going in for the Mega Health, catches a great stream of LG, and dodges the acid, so that's going to be down for quite a while. Oh, hang on, he's landed on it, has to pop the injection. He's going to still take the tick damage, but the injection does keep him alive.
He's got a little bit to wait, though. The big armor's not quite back yet. Same thing with health, but he's sort of hovering around for it. That's the thing. Anarchy being so squishy right now. It's only popped one injection. Still going to have quite low max health.
Really trying to sort of sit there, control the rail, make sure he doesn't get picked off trying to take the heavy armor. He's going to try and get out there. No doubt his next objective is going to be that Mega Health.
It's that nice jump. That's one of those things that Anarchy can do because the speed, he can get around willingly. Picks up this Mega Health as well as complete control over both Megas. And Vo now stuck on the floor. Always quite hard shooting up at a target, especially when they've got the height on you. Drops down to follow him up.
Tries to go straight down though. The acid going straight up into the air. Is he going to land on any of the spit? Nah, doesn't quite land on him. That was on a huge chunk, especially compared to the fact that Vo was doing big damage regardless of that. But he's going straight back in for that heavy armor. Now, Sorlag, one thing fazz is doing really well, he's just not going within that effective range of Sorlag. He's staying just outside of it. So the spit really hasn't done anything so far, but the second he gets tagged, he's going to take so much damage.
That's what I mean. No, he's playing around it really well, but he's going to have to remain consistent because as soon as you step a toe into that, you want to take a bit of damage. Misses the rail. That was unfortunate. Could have been a big amount of damage. And Vo's managed to get away with still almost full health.
Trying to navigate on the side, going across. B is aggressive, but the rocket actually keeping him just ever so slightly back right there. But again, it's a read. Vo actually letting him take the heavy armor, letting him take it for free. Probably going to try and go for Mega Health instead for a trade.
Yeah, Mega Health up in 8 seconds. Okay, he's probably going to go straight for it.
No, not quite actually.
No, yeah. No, but to be fair, Vo isn't there either. It's actually quite a free pickup at this point.
Yeah, fazz definitely expecting him to be there, but not today.
Oh, Cactus was seeing him. He was walking there slowly trying to mask his sound, but there we go, sees him. And that roll connects. He's going to be very low on health if he can get away.
Does get hit by the acid. That's going to consistently tick down. Still got a bunch of health, but again, can't take a rail, even at 75 health. Then again, the heavy armor is probably going to see to that quite nicely.
But that really just goes to show how useful it can be. I mean, Vo, look, he's basically got no health. That magic pixel of life there. Able to pick up a small pickup just to top himself up. He's gradually managing to climb his health back into areas that he can start fighting again, but that Mega Health, right as he's trying to pick up these small ones, fazz is once again just running rings around these Mega pickups and hits a rail. And again, Vo forced to run away.
This is a bad situation. He's no doubt going to hear that rocket and use it as a free time to just sort of collect more of these pickups. But I think one of the things to pay attention to is that Vo is not... He's not being predictable with when he goes in for these larger pickups. Like, I think he's almost like letting Fazz take the mega health and the mega armor, and he's completely content with getting health and armor back by taking the smaller pickups. Misses the rail, hang on, goes in, does manage to catch an acid, and he's still, even though he's popped the injection, he has not got a lot of health. Is Vo going to chase this?
Would have been left with 10 health had he not picked up that little bit of an armor shard, but Vo knows he's weak and he catches him. Hello, out of the nowhere, the corner. Vo with a point-blank rocket to the face. Anarchy is out of there. Nix, the second character.
That was so well played by Vo as well. However, he's got caught by a rocket. He's going to have to try and strafe jump in the back direction, going in for that bunny hop, trying to go for the higher speed. Fazz popping the invisibility, but is he going to be aggressive with it?
Not quite sure, but he does have access to the acid again. The health is up any minute now. Any second, I should say. He's going to get this most likely for free. Yes, he does. Tanks himself out that 200 health. That is going to make such a difference here. You can see how much poke damage he's taking, but still remaining so healthy.
He's still got 25 armor. Make that 50.
Or jumps over a rocket. Goes down at nice. Just lands straight on the armor there.
But in this situation, actually, Fazz, again, has not got a lot of health ready to go. And Vo, just look at how unbelievably stacked he is. He has managed to pick up the heavy armor. Is he going to try and go for the Mega? I think that's the next read.
Not quite sure. Like I said, he's not been too predictable in the places he finds himself when he's trying to contest these pickups, to the point that maybe he's actually going to let the armor go. No, the health is there. Fazz wasn't able to get it in time.
I think one thing as well to point out, Vo has not picked up the rail. He still has not got a rail.
Oh, that rocket connected, but again, that natural health coming out. Lightning gun doing a little bit of damage here, taking a lot of damage.
Oh, tries to go in for the up-close rocket to get that initial burst of speed and fly around the corner, but doesn't quite get the angle he wanted. Just takes unnecessary damage. Fazz with the punish, and we're now forced into a Nix mirror.
Indeed, and that's it, the end of the round. The time limit did reach. And because we saw him with that champion advantage, he's going to go on that alone, which again comes back to, you know,
the defensive
keep
play.
Going on that timer. You know, if you're playing really defensive and you find yourself even, you get that last kill, you can, you know, take that champion lead and just run away with it.
Especially if you're someone like Sorlag as well, who, you know, has just, you know, got that health. But Fazz did take that round. And again, we're back to the sort of the dual anarchies.
Fazz opting to start with a shotgun though, as a starting weapon, so maybe trying to see that it's going for Anarchy. He does do quite a lot of damage to those squishy characters early on, but you know, it's quite easy to just instantly find a better weapon than your starting option.
Again, Fazz sort of really trying to sort of control on the bottom. He has got access to a rail again, so obviously that's going to naturally do a ton of damage. Speaking of which, Fazz gets hit by a rail himself.
Yeah, was able to snag himself a rocket though, so not a complete disaster. Big health's going to be coming up in about 5 seconds time. Find that Vo's not too close, but he is Anarchy. He can definitely get close if he wants to. But yeah, I think actually just trading power up for power up there. We saw Vo going there for that mega armor. Fazz taking the mega health.
Actually nearby, didn't quite hear him. Goes up for the airborne, maybe tries to get like almost like a trick shot. Does get a rail. That's going to be a fantastic start. Just needs a couple of extra things to secure the frag.
But you can see that almost got caught at the bum with the lightning gun, but not quite enough.
I think he acknowledges that Fazz has the rocket launcher. He does not want to like walk into a rocket, especially with that little health.
I like the change of pace though, you know, because they're both playing Anarchy and neither of them have a massive amount of health. They can see themselves hit like, you know, a chunky rocket or a hit on a rail, and then you see them instantly turn around and realize that they get one more shot, that's going to be a kill. They're just so quick with recognizing it.
Vo's expecting him to go in, does miss the rail, so that's going to be a free heavy armor. May have been slightly different if he tagged the rail beforehand, but definitely not. A lot more patience, both players really trying to sort of listen out for where the other guy's going to be.
He's got a bit of an inkling here, did eat a rail, but had a ton of armor, so was able to sponge most of it.
Giving up the sort of mega health, it's not a huge surprise. It's dangerous. When the other guy's waiting for it, going in for one of those big power-ups predictably can be very costly if you get caught off guard, but that's going to be not only a mega health, but a heavy armor on the size of Vo. Super stacked.
Well, he knows he's down at the heavy armor though, but again, opting not to chase it. Again, there's that sort of like slow and stable play you know he's looking for. You can hear a teleporter though.
Very slow round, definitely a change of pace from what we've seen, even though it did go actually to a timeout last time. Neither player wants to overextend. I mean, as the clock goes on as well, and the risk of timeout comes through, I think both players, they just don't want to give up that champion advantage.
Of course, especially when it's someone like Anarchy, which we've always seen can be quite snowbally, especially when you find yourself massively stacked on health and armor.
Trying to really watch out. He is down around there. Oh, they trade a rail for a rail. Both players take big damage, but Vo is the one that still has armor left to work with.
Remember though, when it's that charged rail and it does that little bit of additional damage, it can be quite a deal breaker.
Both players ready for where the other guy's going to be. Just see the amount of patience both these guys are displaying right now. Pretty much over halfway through already. Lands a rail again, but so far, to be honest, with the exception of just forcing people to escape, the rails haven't done a huge amount. As I say that, we do see a fight here. Misses the rail again. Both players fail to connect, and we're going to reset back to that neutral situation.
Bobbing and weaving so hard to hit him when he's doing that, especially if it's that clutch situation where you know when you're playing the same character, you're both as at risk as each other.
He was forced straight back out of that teleporter, the same direction he came in.
So that mega health is coming up very soon. And there could be a fight for it. Yes, he goes for it. This is brave.
Forces the injection. However, Fazz only has 12 HP, and Vo knows he's going in for the push, but actually goes in up stop. If he actually went in for the chase there, he might have got a frag.
But I mean, again, it comes down to that timidness, this very slow and super careful play they're going for right now, being very timid to go in for that final hit.
But that was almost a little bit too close to call, I think. If only Vo pushed in and didn't go through the teleporter, he probably would have secured it. I mean, he only had like, what, 12 HP left to work with? That's almost anything.
I mean, in that situation, you know, maybe Fazz expected to die. Maybe he expected Vo to chase the way he turned around, but seeing that Vo didn't go in for it, here's another fight. He's actually going to commit to this one. There's another injection coming through, showing to be so useful there, just getting him out of that fight. Yeah, that was instant health.
That was definitely a preemptive injection, just in case he took a rocket there. I think he couldn't have survived it otherwise. Trying to keep things safe.
Speaking of which, this could be the fight, and there's no getting away from this one as Vo goes down and loses Anarchy. 50 seconds left to go. If Fazz runs away for 50 seconds, he's going to win on that.
Yeah, the pressure's definitely on Vo now to try and push the advantage. Bear in mind, even if he takes the Mega, he hasn't got access to armor, so if Vo can catch him a couple of times, he might do it. Are we going to trade through? He gets hit by the acid. It's not going to kill, though.
Yeah, sticking down, but just like that, he's going to top up. Has access. There we go. Pops the injection just to stay alive. 30 seconds more. Fazz needs to stall for 30 seconds.
The thing is, Vo put a lot into that fight, and he took a lot of damage to do it. Unfortunately, I just don't know whether he has the resources available to push and try and secure a frag. Fazz just straight over him. Did Vo even see that?
Yeah, there's that direct rocket. Vo now he has to choose. Does he chase on low health? He chooses to chase on low health, and Vo goes down. Most likely game on that alone, at least this next round at least. Down to that 5 seconds left to go. Probably not enough time. This round is probably going to go in the way of Fazz.
You definitely can't. You definitely can't, you know, criticize him going in there,
no,
because it's like he had no other option. He either got that frag right then or it was over. But bear in mind, believe it or not, these 2 slow rounds, we are yet to finish this first map, and Vo could totally make a 3-round comeback as well. We still have plenty of rounds left to go.
You see Nyx, you see Anarchy, you see Blazkowicz, and you think, right, this is a team built to kill someone. You know, this is about being fast, being quick, getting where you need to go instantly, and we're saying that. A little bit of banter in the chat as well. Not
sick bants, mate.
Of course. But you know, that really is it though. You know, they're playing for it. You know, say, is this fun to you? But at the same time,
$1 million is on the line. You play to win.
$1 million riding on this kind of match. So you kind of expect to see it. You know, do what you need to do to get that win, because that win might get you one step closer to a life-changing sum of money.
Again, you look at the health and armor. Even though Fazz sitting on a bit more health because of that mega health, armor definitely on the side of Vo. But it's constant prediction, right? You know, the second they pick up, and I'm speaking of prediction! Prediction rockets right around the corner, and now Vo has the champion advantage. Now, if he wanted to, he could be defensive in this situation. Bear in mind, Fazz on the Blazkowicz, already going in for the ability, but 2 more rockets. This is looking to be a much bigger change of pace. Vo looking so strong.
Now, that is Quake. You can have a 5-minute round where they be really careful and really slow, or you can have a 1-minute round where there's already 2 frags on the table.
Has popped in the Ghost Walk. He's going to give himself that burst of speed to chase down. He has so much armor. He can totally chase this if he wants. Catches him off guard, and just like that, 3 straight champions down. Vo back in the action.
Just like that, 2-1. One round away. Wrong weapon. That's an unfortunate mistake. No. But unfortunately for him, it is going to be a round in the favor of Vo now, 2-1.
Well, I mean, just like that. Almost not even a quarter of the time of round number 2. Round 3 goes in that amount of time. Crazy stuff. But again, both players still on Anarchy, picking up that LG. A lot of armor on Vo though. So again, if Fazz gets a good sequence with that LG, he can sort of melt the health down. But you wonder, I don't think Vo's going to really let him get that situation to begin with.
Of course, popping up for that armor though, topping up, and he needs 2 of those to max himself out, but Fazz doing a good job of keeping himself really healthy. Vo now though, trying to get some more of these pickups as they go around. I mean, this really seems to be the tried and true, right? You know,
it's prepared for the fight. You know, when the fight happens, it's quick and it's explosive. Misses the rail, that's going to give him some free trails with the LG. Definitely don't want to be missing those up-close rails, because in between the cooldown of fire, you can't actually shoot. If you've got an LG tracking you, that's going to be free damage until you can fire again.
So we can see that the the heavy armor is gone in the favor of fazz, so he has managed to stock himself up on that, but Vo still with a little bit of this extra health ticking down, but very quickly going to be wearing itself down to normal again.
Oh, unfortunately misses the jump right there. Just take the rail this time.
There we go, yeah. Really important for Anarchy to be able to do that. And again, comes down to that sort of unique champion movement. He isn't the only champion in the game that can make that jump, but they definitely can't all do it. So knowing, you know, what your options are, really important, especially if you're trying to just play the board and cycle around these mega pickups as fast as you can.
Sometimes movement can be a bit predictable though, you know, if you can take all these items and it's such an attractive option. Oh, trying to double back, knows the rocket came through there, so he's going to know that Vo is nowhere to be found. Actually, no, call that fazz. My mistake. These mirror matches, man.
Of course, we see Mega Health could be coming up in just a few seconds. Misses a rail, that could have been very important considering he managed to just land one itself. We're going to pick up the Mega Health, so not a big disaster anyway.
Now, sometimes you have to ask yourself, why has he left that? Why isn't he taking it? You know, are they trying to sort of bait it into a trap? But Vo is going to take that heavy armor.
There we go. I mean, you seem to rarely see either of these guys go for those rocket jumps unless they are fully stacked up to take that damage, because when you have as little health as Anarchy does, you can't be affording to waste much of it with excessive rocket jumping. But sometimes you can need it just to get to where you need to be. Oh, that rail! This is a bad situation to be in.
Does manage to get the Mega Health though, so he's going to tank one more rail, and the shield, the arm actually might help him out too, but even though Anarchy gets that increased movement in the air, it's still not really going to help you from getting tagged by that free rail on a jump pad. And speaking of rails, he's going to go in for the LG as well, and fazz cleans up the frag.
Now we find ourselves in a similar situation, so 2.5 minutes to go, so I doubt we're going to see him play for the timeout yet, considering how fast this can go. But Vo put on this saw lag now, the acid comes out.
That hurt big time. Misses the rail though, so Vo survives. Going straight through the acid, taking the trade of damage, knowing the LG was going to do it. And he's going to comfortably just take that Mega Health anyway. Fazz looking to take this round as well.
That was actually really smart to just walk through the acid, deliberately taking that damage, because he knows that he's probably going to get the kill, and that Mega Health is sitting right there waiting for him if he successfully gets it. And just like that, now he has maximum control over Mega Armor and Mega Health.
But fazz has been playing this so defensively and so carefully. Like, these big decisions to go straight through a clear obstacle, taking damage deliberately, we haven't seen that much. So it was a good call from fazz to just, in some elements, maybe just catch Vo off guard.
Perhaps, but we find himself, you know, maxing out on armor. Gets the Mega Health once again. Fazz just completely controlling these power-ups. Has access to all the weapons he could possibly want, but Vo, now he has that Nyx. We've already seen how versatile this champion can be, you know, with the aggressive ghost walks, with the just evasion. Question is Vo going to be able to make a complete 3-champion comeback with her?
Fazz, he's just caught light of the rail. Probably thought he was up there. Did have a look, but didn't quite see him. But I think hearing the rail get picked up was more than enough to tell him where he was. And again, the fight's going to take place probably into this Mega Health. Is Vo going to go for it? Is he going to get a chance? Forced to use the Ghost Walk. Reappears on the Mega, tries to take it for free, but takes a bunch of LG for his trouble. He's been hurting big time.
Trying to make a read on where she might be sitting in the corner though, but now he is on the bottom, shooting up. That can be quite unsafe to go for, and that clutch rail is going to do it, and a wonderful shot from Fazz to seal the deal.
I think it was just good patience. You know, Fazz, throughout that entire game, just showed a good demonstration of how you can play the game slowly. You know, I mean, we saw a timeout there. We saw just the slowest matches. But
and that was just one map.
Exactly. I was just about to say, that is one map. We potentially have 2 more to go, and that was pretty close as well. If Vo takes... So this is a situation where Vo is now able to choose his next map. So if he can put himself in a situation that he thinks is an advantage for him, he could take this next map, making it 1-1, and then we will have another match, another map on our hands. But with the pace of how the first map went, I mean, this could be quite a long one.
It could be. I think it depends on how they want to play, because it seems to be that Fazz is very much content running that clock, making it as slow as he wants to do. Maybe even to like frustrate your opponent. You know, your opponent wants to run in there and, you know, go for those kills and play that fast game, but Fazz was very content just slowing it down and keeping it at a snail's pace. So I think it's going to be a question of whether Vo can pick champions to kind of maybe go against that, but at the same time, you know, it's Anarchy and Nyx. These are very, very fast champions that you would expect sort of almost aggression out of them just by how fast they can chase you down and where they can be. But you can also use that speed to evade, to run away. As soon as you took any damage, injection out of there, just like that. So it almost makes you wonder, what map can you go on to make that not maybe be as much of a valid strategy? Maybe
just pick a map where running away isn't as easy to do. But again, I know, like, you know, the rail is a big part of that. Because
do you think almost maybe even Corrupted Keep then?
I guess it really depends. It depends on what kind of advantage I think Vo really wants to give himself.
I think you make that trade-off, because if you go Corrupted Keep, it's very close quarters, so it's a very small map, so there's less chance to run away and play that lame style.
But Anarchy is going to be in some cases, he's able to sort of dodge rockets because of how fast he moves.
As well as the lack of a rail to really chunk that life down off of Anarchy when he is that low. So, I don't know, I guess a bit of a double-edged sword. I could be completely wrong, but regardless, we'll have to wait and see. It is actually going to be Corrupted Keep.
I think a big part of that might have just been the level of control fazz was able to establish. He was looking after that rail pretty much the entire time. And a lot of the damage came from that general area. So they are both going to go in for Anarchy. Vu's looking so far to go in for that same team of champions. The Sorlag does get picked once again. The Sorlag did a lot of work in the last game, though, so I'm not surprised to see it picked again. Also,
if anything, it's just that natural health pool. You know, we saw fazz hitting a lot of, you know, rails from a distance and just general pokey down damage. Oh, we're going to see the mirror so far. Are we going to see the full team comp? Are we going to see the full mirror?
Now, here we go. This is the traditional team that we saw fazz go for. Used it before.
Ooh,
now,
clutch.
The spanner in the works. Vu goes in for the clutch pick. So fazz has gone in for basically the same team we've pretty much seen him use for a lot of these competitive Quake Champions tournaments, where it is that Nyx, Anarchy, and Sorlag. But the one change to prevent it from being just a complete mirror, clutch.
So clutch we've already seen a little bit of today.
I think he's good on Corrupted Keep.
Definitely making a big difference with his recent buffs have definitely helped him a lot. But also fazz, like you said, going back to that tried and true team comp that we've seen a lot of him in, and with other tournaments so far, is that Anarchy, that Nyx, and that Sorlag. Last time seeing him go to Blazkowicz was a bit peculiar.
But I really think that Blazkowicz was just the answer to the Sorlag, or just the answer to the higher health pool champions, and you see that a lot.
But then he ended up not needing it. So maybe he thought, okay, right, well, Blazkowicz isn't as essential as I maybe thought, so I'm going to go down with Sorlag. Or he could just be wanting to, you know, maybe finish off the set with his favorite team.
Maybe on the flip side as well, perhaps Vu's gone in for the clutch pick because he wants to really, you know, one of the ways you can prevent an opponent from running away in a game is to take the fight to them. And if you're taking the fight to them with lots of health and a shield wall to soak up their rockets, that's a great start. Now, speaking of a good start, fazz spawning right next to that mega health.
When he gets the rocket first, so this could be a big advantage, but once again, instantly popping that injection to get away.
Well, it's definitely not just for health. Like, fazz definitely did not pop that injection because he wants health there. He just wanted to get the speed boost and escape the rocket. And again, if you're escaping rockets, you're not going to get tagged by a rail trying to escape on this map. But again, it's just what we've seen before, this Anarchy mirror. Maybe trying to get a prediction. Vu doubling back though. Smart little stuff. But as I've said that, both of the major health pickups have respawned, but they're going to trade it back instead. I think fazz probably going to try and collect that heavy armor, but the direct hit, that hurts Anarchy so much.
Also, I mean, he saw the direct knowing it's an Anarchy, quick enough to replenish his health, but still down with no armor. There's that teleporter trying to head him off. Maybe no. Maybe just trying to cycle himself some pickups.
Oh, actually didn't catch sight of him. He was just to his right.
Oh, what a prediction.
Again, the time it's taken for them to both sort of dance around the map is more than enough time for these pickups to respawn. We're going to see the fight in the mega health, and Vu catches an early rocket. Now, because he's gone back onto his Sorlag, it is going to be a bit harder for fazz to sort of run away.
Of course, you already did get hit by a little bit of the acid, though. Really well aimed by fazz and going in for this kill, but is that going to be enough to kill him? There's the injection, just comes up and saves him, but it isn't going to matter.
Doesn't matter at all. Now, I think one of the main reasons fazz knew he was there is because when you tag someone with the acid and the damage ticks down, you can actually see the number values through surfaces. So in some areas, when you're hitting someone with the acid, it's not necessarily the ticking damage you want, it's the fact that you can visually see the numbers through the map, giving away where the opponent is.
I can imagine that being really useful versus Anarchy because he covers so much ground so fast. You know, he's going to cover a lot of distance in the small space of time you're hitting with the acid, but no, they're tracking on the lightning gun, doing so much damage. He's going in for the kill. fazz picking up a little bit of health, hasn't got any armor.
Again, actually, bear in mind, actually, Sorlag versus Acid doesn't really do a whole lot in this matchup, especially when they're both against each other. Quite a unique passive that people tend to forget about.
Oh, now we got that lightning gun. Look at the health just melt away.
But he picked up the Mega in the middle of the trail, so he survived just long enough, and they go for a complete trade. Both players down to their final champion, Nyx and Clutch.
So I have to wait and see how this actually matches up with Clutch. Already finding himself with that heavy armor. Pops the barrier, the Ghost Walk. He's making the read. Where is she gone?
Sees him reappear. You can never count out a Clutch with a super shotgun, but hang on a minute, misses it! But it doesn't matter! The damage output negates the tracking on the LG.
That is when a very low amount of health meets a large amount of health. In that situation where Ghost Walk being that escape option, if you do make that prediction and you just dedicate and go, right, she's going to reappear here. Vu was able to make that read, it paid off. And thanks to that, nowhere left to run, and that just natural health prevailing.
Now on the flip side, Fazz has actually opted to go in for Sorlag first, forcing the ejection, but just look at how much damage he's taken. Absolutely had to pick up those health items, otherwise it would have been game over.
Yeah, definitely. Only having access to Lightning Gun right now, though, so doesn't have too much of an arsenal stocked. Probably going to go towards the rocket now, most likely. Yeah, there it is, and picks up some armor on the way, now looking very deadly.
But I think you can visually see why the champion picks were the way they were. You know, Fazz wants to go in for that sort of shred damage. Has managed to take that sort of mega health, so he's going to go straight and actually no fear. Misses the rocket though, does no damage, but the second one connects. And again, Vo looking on real good form. Clearly this map pick has made a huge difference.
A big change of pace. Vo is able to bring it to him. Doesn't have so much of a space to run away. Can't play the clock anywhere near as much. Trying to bait on this armor, but oh no, doesn't call him. Behind him, the rocket comes through. He's going to have enough to finish him off.
He's going to be able to sort of get away right there. I think neither player looking to fight too heavily.
Vo does have the armor advantage here though, so if he can get a good couple of hits, he's going to pay attention. He just rushes straight in and wow, again, barely able to take that, but he is going to be able to clutch it out. So now he has 3 champions to 1. Nyx, once again, forced on the back foot.
Goes in again, goes in, forces the Ghost Walk. I wonder if he's going to try and get away or just predict it. Oh, Fazz staying there. He's confident. He wanted the rocket, but has it mattered? It wasn't there to take at all, and what a quick round from Vo.
And of course, already round 2 done. 1 round away from tying this series up, 1 apiece, just like that. Just goes to show how much of a difference the map can make.
Well, we mentioned before this match, we said, like, we expect him to try and maybe just try and bring the fight to him. And I think the champion select reflected that potential game plan, and seeing it used, you know, it's Vo's adaptation. You know, he saw how the first match went. I mean, admittedly, you saw he probably did not really approve of the defensive style, but he knew what his clear answer had to be. It hasn't phased him. He's staying confident, and the results are showing.
Now we can see almost right back to this this Anarchy mirror to start things off. And we saw in the first round. And here we go, very aggressive. Pops the injection,
no, gets stuck on the surface.
Oh, was able to survive though. Didn't actually matter too much.
That could have been very unfortunate, but he did survive that one.
Oh, just in time to pick up the mega health. This is unfortunate. There's the injection pop, but Fazz on the back foot once again. Vo able to pick up. Why she doesn't get the mega armor instead, or the heavy armor I should say on the way, but is able to take out that first champion.
Vo's rockets on this map have been superb. Like, he survived every single fight, even if it's with a little bit of health. He just knows how to dodge with Anarchy while at the same time just peppering out those rockets, doing so much damage. However, gets caught on the back foot with the LG, has to retreat. Can't take too much of that, and bear in mind, no health pickups around.
Oh, he's got him from behind. There's the sneaky stuff. Oh, is that going to be enough? Oh, Fazz is able to take that one narrowly, but the mega health is there to top him up straight away, so Vo isn't going to have the option to quickly finish him off.
Now in this situation again, back to that Sorlag mirror, but he's actually not going to have the spit for quite a while, whereas on the flip side, Vo is going to have that acid burst for the chip damage.
You can tell really trying to stop him from going for that armor, and the acid comes through.
Taking all of that damage, wow, caught mid-jump pad. And Vo with the LG beam, and that's why, right, you cannot get caught on a jump pad when they've got a lightning gun. You'll just get smashed.
Okay, make the read on the Ghost Walk. Oh, he had the jump pad, but no, he doesn't turn around and follow it up.
I think he just wanted to run away and heal up instead. Definitely didn't want to take that fight. Trying to bunny hop, getting over these rockets, actually doing a really good job at answering back. Wow, good job.
Really good game though from Vo, just instantly recognizing I have to be more aggressive here, because Fazz was very content to see himself low on life, go for that that run away, that safety, and Vo was just able to recognize that and go, right, he clearly wants to run away from me every time I do damage. So he was just being a bit more aggressive, being a bit more brave when chasing. And obviously, like we said before, maybe the map change was a big difference where he just doesn't have as much space to run around.
Chasing works really well as if you're playing a tanky champion too. You know, it's a matter of, well, I'm going to chase this. He's probably going to expect me to. So, you know, they may pepper the odd rocket behind to try and sort of keep me almost zoned out to a degree. But if you're going to play as clutch, if you're going to have Sorlag, you can chase really effectively. And I think that's why we saw Corrupted Keep. We saw as a smaller map, less room to really run away the whole match, and you've got a lot of hearing possibilities too, because
also
it's so
even
small.
Even smaller things. When we saw Vo go for that that adjustment to clutch at the end, that clutch pick won him the first round, you know, because he just had naturally more armor. The barrier was able to sponge damage because of the way he played that final fight in that first round. He was able to get that win. So even, you know, more things, changing the map and then going to change champions as well. I mean, there's so much to think about. You know, being able to adapt on the fly. But now we find ourselves with Fazz having the option to change stage 2. So does he go back? Ruins of Sarnath. Maybe wants to give himself, again, that space to work with.
Well, it's extreme differences in game plan, isn't it? So we saw in the first game, very defensive on Blood Covenant. Fazz playing that sort of keep away game and doing it effectively winning convincingly. And on the flip side, talking about a convincing win, the change to Corrupted Keep, you know, where it was much smaller, less room for fazz to run away. He's now picked Ruins of Sarnath, pretty much the biggest dual map, with the most space.
Now, he's gone for Visor as his third pick, so no Sorlag, no Blaskovitz. He's going for a third option. So he's still sticking with those, the Anarchy and Nick sort of, you know, tag team, I suppose, as it were. And it's that third champion that he seems to be able to swap in and out.
I think that's Fazz's variable currently, is, you know, so far it kind of seems like Anarchy and Nyx is like the core. That's staple to his team, and then depending on maybe the map that we're on, because bear in mind Rail on this map is really effective because Visor, the fact that it is a big map, he can see so much of it, you know, and there are so many different areas around this large map that now you can see where the enemy is. You can either attack them or you can safely decide, right, he's over here, so now I'm going to take Rocket Launcher or I'm going to take Mega Health or whatever it is. Like, you know, Visor on a lot of these maps that favor the Rail, Visor's really effective on those.
Well, also a very beefy lineup coming out of Vo for this last game, what will be the last game in this series. We have Clutch, Sorlag, and Anarchy. So he does have Anarchy for just that speed. Perhaps he's still going to run him first just to try and get that snowball rolling. But at the same time, two big bodies. You know, he has that massive health and just tankiness to his team.
But even though this is a large map, Anarchy with an ability to just navigate it so freely, really not a huge issue right there. Actually catches sight that the LG was in fact down, so he's going to know the fazz was down there. There we go, securing that early railgun. No doubt we're going to see that become super useful in the future fights we're going to see up. Been enough time, some of these pickups to sort of respawn.
Well, he's expecting a trade. See, right, there's that armor. Is the health going to go down soon? The question is Fazz going to be around there to get it? Yes, he has only just picked it up, so they're not quite in sync, but still very much gone.
Oh, a couple of prediction rockets. Very well thought out. Vo taking a bit of damage right here. Actually losing his armor too. Very important decision to catch those rockets when he caught them.
And here we go. Here's that kind of like that cat and mouse game of, you know, Anarchy versus Anarchy. Just that sheer speed. So good at chasing each other down as well as getting away from each other. It really just comes down to where you think they're going to run.
So yeah, the heavy armor has respawned, but again, I think it's a prediction. Once again, they're going to sort of trade it out. Both players, I think, content with the other taking one of the pickups if they can take the next one. I think this is almost kind of like we're going to see this a lot throughout the match. This very slow, calculated style. Both players, they don't want to overextend. You know, cause you've seen the snowball effect. You've seen how much damage these players can get. And just like that, the second Vo catches sight of him, immediately with the jump back, he does not want to give up a rail shot.
Oh, Vo not being super accurate with these rails so far, but you know, in his defense, he is against an Anarchy from very far away. That's a tiny target to hit.
Actually catches a prediction rocket and trying to sort of go back down.
Now then, this really is going back to that sort of that slower game we saw from game one. That really is being forced in when he's got that space. See Vo almost not rushing him down, but definitely getting a little bit more aggressive there.
He definitely tried his luck a little bit when he saw the rail get missed. Bear in mind, when you miss a rail, you're kind of like at the mercy of the cooldown of the weapon shot, so might be able to get some free damage. Is he going to press the advantage? No, doesn't want to overextend too much. However, that's probably going to be a free heavy armor for Fazz, and it is indeed.
Yeah, he heard the heavy armor get picked up, and now his response is to go straight to the mega health. And here's again that fight. Can he get away? Oh, well, he's just going to slug it out.
I mean, both players are going to have access to their injection, so this is probably not going to be a frag either way. And again, both players get away pretty much almost completely halfway through this round, and we are yet to see a significant fight. Both players just happy with that keep away style, not wanting to push too far ahead.
And again, it's always Vo, right? Vo is always the one that's slowing down, sitting around these corners, waiting it out. If anything, maybe just waiting for these pickups.
Trying to wait it out, right? The second he catches a good fight and he knows he's stacked up enough to take it, he will take it.
You are going to have to be careful. Oh, misses another rail. That was unfortunate.
Ever so slightly misses it too.
But I guess you have to be super careful when you're approaching Anarchy as an Anarchy in a fight. Because like you said, you both have access to those injections. Just that kind of like, get me out of this fight immediately button.
But you can see right here, speaking of get me out of this fight, where Vo goes, right, well, I've taken a bunch of damage. I really can't afford to stay here. They know when to retreat. You know, they know when to sort of get back and try and stack back up. However, both players down there, opting to almost actually trying to use the jump pad to take a free rocket and then go back up to safety. But at the same time, Fazz has taken that heavy armor.
Oh, and there's the stopwatch once again, ready for that. Mega health once again picked up. A little bit low on armor, but one pickup's going to do a good job of at least getting him near full capacity again.
But I feel like this conservative, this very sort of reserved style that we're seeing, it's it's the nature of a match that we're seeing where it's down to the last match. You know, both of these players have taken a map. This is the first time in this broadcast where both players are up on one map. However, catches the direct rocket, forces the injection and takes the armor, but it doesn't matter. Vo very confidently cleaning up that one, but gets a good spawn on the Nyx as well.
Oh, but no, he's not going to chase it down. He just wants to get these pickups. Do not let her have that chance to make a comeback. But again, it just comes down to, we've seen Vo being almost the most passive player we've seen all day. But as soon as he sees that direct rocket confirm, he smells blood and goes straight for it. But now he has that 1 minute left to kill. If he can stay alive for a minute, he will win this first round on timeout again.
It's actually almost on the flip side of what happened to him in the game one. You know, Fazz was very, very defensive. But you know, now Vo is the one with the champion advantage. He's playing as Anarchy. Anarchy can so freely run around the map. And with 45 seconds on the clock, the pressure really is on Fazz. However, Vo actually trying to chase it down and further increase that lead. If he can increase the lead at 45 seconds or 30 seconds, that's going to be almost a free round.
The thing is, Fazz played the first game so carefully to the point that, you know, and we even have Vo saying stuff in chat about it, but still, like, now this flip side, this is the adjustment. Vo is doing to Fazz exactly what Fazz did to him in the first game. If he can survive for 20 seconds, he'll be guaranteed the win. But if he dies there, he'll be evened out.
Going in for the injection, that's going to absolutely heal him back up, and I think Fazz trying to head him off. 15 seconds on the clock. He needs to make something happen right now, otherwise he is going to go down one round.
No more options. He must kill Vo immediately. 5 seconds left to do it. I don't think he has time.
At this stage, it's almost impossible. Yeah, he's gone round. At this stage, Anarchy's just going to run away. Even a rail is going to do anything. Gets hit right at the end, but it's too little too late.
I actually quite like that adjustment, though. You know, he's still looking. He's still looking for that lame style. Unfortunate stuff in the chat there by Fazz. But you know, I mean, understand me. Yeah, this is very much a beta, guys. Game is not out yet.
Okay, so bear in mind this is the final game. Vo now only has to take 2 rounds.
Of course, 1 match apiece, but Vo now finds himself with a round advantage. I actually really like that adjustment, though, to really slow things down, because Vo was being very aggressive in that first game, but now we're instantly making the change, and we can see this fight again. So even though we went so long with no fight last time, right off the bat, these guys are fighting again, and a quick frag by Vo.
He just bumped straight into him as well. We saw so many missed rockets, but the very end when he landed the direct. But that's the one thing, actually, the rocket launcher. The rockets do fly much faster now since the latest update. So these mid-air direct rockets are a lot more viable to hit. And just like that, Fazz, his Ghost Walk has once again been forced out of him.
Of course, now if he can get aggressive before that cools down, he will be in a very good situation, but he must be careful himself. He does have access to the injection, though, so if a fight does spring out, he is going to have access to that heal and speed increase.
Well, Ghost Walk has a chunky cooldown on it, too. Like, he's probably not going to have it back just yet.
Oh, misses another rail. These rails aren't being quite as accurate as we've seen today, but eats a massive amount of rocket damage. The injection comes through to save him, but still down.
You wonder if it was enough. And it wasn't. They're going to trade out 1 frag for 1 frag, and now Fazz really looking good.
Right, so Fazz has lost his mobile champion. Only Sorlag and Clutch left to go. Damage is ticking up from this. Ghost Walk is popped out.
One of the good things that Ghost Walk does, though, it actually does the damage, but unfortunately, although it doesn't matter, he actually hit the wall and did damage to himself.
Indeed, and now he finds himself very low on health. Armor's probably going to come up. No, 10 seconds left to go.
That was good use of the Ghost Walk as well, because not only does it actually save you and it makes you invincible, but it will then nullify the ticking damage of the acid. So the number values through the walls, like I mentioned earlier, they won't appear, so Nyx will even more reliably escape. Now, 2 champions versus 1 clutch. If Vo can stack up and get an important frag and get the armor and the health back where he needs it to be, he can definitely bully this.
Oh, cheeky Ghost Walk goes through the window.
He didn't even want to fight, he just wanted to escape that situation. I don't blame him. Again, the defensive style. We've seen what Fazz can do when he has the champion advantage. No doubt we're going to see it again.
Well, I think he's kind of forced Fazz into that situation. We saw Fazz trying to play very slow and very defensive before, almost like stalling for that clock, but now he definitely can't do that because he's down on champions. His only champion left is Clutch, who could definitely now keep up to you and catch up, but at the same time, a very big target.
But you can see just how little Clutch cares about one of those wayward rails. Look at how much he's got left, and he knows it. He's going straight in, catches a rail as well. Forces the Ghost Walk, and there goes the shield. Is he going in for the chase?
Oh!
And there we go!
What a shot. Sees him clean down the corridor and is ready to snap that one back. Now he finds himself making this comeback. Still has a plenty amount of health left, though, so even though Fazz caught him on spawn, Fazz only had access to that starter machine gun. Definitely not going to be enough to take down Clutch.
200 health, though, gets taken down. Actually, the super nail gun, the damage output since the patch, 20 damage per nail.
Heavy stuff coming through, though. Question is, he's going to go for this armor, most likely.
Fazz is playing super fast at the moment. But again, at the same time, Vo, the second he gets that shield, this matchup's going to change. And now he's got it, ready to go.
Curious to see how fast is going to play this Visor, though, because definitely an interesting pickup, but I mean, I can't imagine the piercing sight will help him too much against Clutch specifically. If anything, it'll let him know if he's like safe to go for certain pickups and whatnot, or if he's just trying to get away.
Speaking of safe pickups, Fazz taking the Mega, very important. You know, it's important that if you're fighting Clutch, you've got to make sure you've got the health to compete with just his base health pool. Like, he has a lot of health and armor.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, at not full health, Clutch is sitting at 125 health. That's more than a lot of champions have as a max.
Now he preemptively pops the shield. I think he was probably expecting Fazz to sort of continue with that pursuit off the jump pad, but because he doesn't do it, that shield's gone for 25 seconds.
Not quite a unforgiving cooldown on it though either. Barrier very versatile and only has a 30 seconds cooldown to it.
Well, actually, it used to have a longer cooldown before the duration of the shield was addressed. So the fact that it now comes down in 30 is really beneficial for Clutch, I think.
Stocking up on this armor again. That 100 natural capacity going to be very important here.
Oh,
nice himself a rail. Fazz from below.
Sorry, Fazz.
Oh lord.
Down to the final champion in this round, though. Again, bear in mind, actually, look at the clock. 35 seconds.
Oh,
and the
direct rocket!
That might be all she wrote. Goes in for the shield just to make it even harder. And the second he sees the rocket, he gets it. Misses the rail. That could be very important. If Fazz can force a sudden death situation and just stack back up, he's going to be all right. But however, Vo, you know he's going to try and chase it if he smells blood.
At the same time, though, just that health, sitting up 50 armor, looking for this Mega. It's going to spawn any second now. Gets hit by a rocket, but doesn't care.
Minimal damage.
Exactly, yeah. Still able to secure the heavy armor.
10 seconds left. He's trying to decide, do I push this or do I not? 5 seconds left. At this point, though, when it's one champion each, sudden death doesn't matter as much, because either way, when they're both down to their final champion, I mean, that's it. If they win the champion, right? That's as simple as that.
But this is just for the round, though. This isn't even for the match. They have to be careful.
Good use actually keeping that shield throughout the wall just so he doesn't take that wayward hit. He doesn't want to take a single rail. When we're in this final champion situation, actually uses the dash, goes straight through. Minimal damage on the rocket though.
I think maybe he didn't see I think he picked up the heavy armor. Yeah, heavy armor has only just been picked up. I don't think he was quite ready for it. Fazz has popped that piercing sight though. He knows exactly where Vo is. Does he take a fight?
Well, seeing as Fazz is trying to catches the rail, really nice shot. He knows he's going to be at the bottom of the Mega health, so Fazz is going to take that for free. 7 seconds on the Mega. Now, because Vo didn't really seem like he knew when the heavy armor was taken, I don't think he knows that the heavy armor is just respawned, but Fazz does, and he picks it up. Good timing on Fazz, and Vo, I think, actually mistiming that pickup. That may cost him this entire round.
This is probably the most passive game we've seen all day. Both players being so careful, and it's not even with the standard characters we're used to seeing. These champions usually quite very fight heavy, I suppose, especially Clutch. Now he can do what he can do. Oh, the rail. Yeah, it connects twice.
Actually, I think it may have missed the first time. He didn't take much damage, but at the very least, the second one does connect. But just the health pool of Clutch, you know, this only takes that rail. It doesn't phase him too much. He's still got 120 health, 25 armor. If he gets caught off guard in a fight, he's still got the shield wall. But at the same time, Fazz, we did just hear him pop that piercing sight. He knows where he's going to be, and he forces the shield out just to stay alive. I
really like that reactionary barrier as well, though. Just realizing he'd already taken so much damage from that rail. Just quickly turning around, snapping around, and getting that barrier up just to keep himself alive.
An extra element of Clutch, though, he's very noisy. You know, when he moves around that map, his noises are very distinct. It's quite easy to hear where he is on the map. However, Fazz, he knows he's not going to have the shield wall, so he's going into the LG. He knows he can't absorb it, but is it enough? He's still got a lot of health left, especially after the Mega health.
You have to be so careful taking that toe-to-toe fight with a character with more health than you, because you just might not have the health to take it. And just like that, that one survived fight alone has given Vo complete control over both Mega pickups.
But Fazz tried to push the advantage. He knew the shield wall was down and he can't absorb any of the lightning gun. But because Vo survived, Fazz took so much damage in the fight. It's just given Vo time he needs to stack back up. I mean, just look at the armor, look at the health. It's going to be tricky to fight if he catches him off guard. But these far distance rails to just take his damage down, they are very important, you know, just to make sure he's not fully stacked up as he fights. Speaking of which, going straight in with an up-close shield, and you can see how effective a Clutch is with the shield and rocket.
That was a really well played though as well though. Just realizing that he'd just picked up the Mega health. It was finally a situation that he had absolute health and that it's Visor, you know, he could see he was still around that corner. He's not going to be able to chase and outrun a Clutch that is really using that new dash and put it to perfect use to take himself another round, bringing himself to set point over Fazz right now. Vo looking really strong.
I mean, in some ways this could be considered an upset as well because of how well Fazz has been playing in all of these Quake Champions Cups. But either way, you know, Vo, clearly, no slouch at all.
I love this adjustment, though. I mean, he's playing this match completely differently to we saw in map 1, and it's working out perfectly for him. But again, we see this Anarchy mirror. We didn't really see much of this last round. Still very much content playing it.
But as these sets progress, you wonder if these players, will they get fatigued? You know, will they get a little bit sort of mentally drained? These are going on for quite a while, and every round, most of them are completely close.
I say that this series alone has taken a lot longer than anything else we've had today. You know, they're definitely taking it very slowly and very carefully. You know, let's not forget they are playing for $1 million. I can't blame them at all.
Well, we did mention though, 2 Anarchies, this sort of bob and weave style, really trying to sort of pick health down when you can get it, but at the same time making sure you're agile, you're navigating this map as quickly as possible, collecting the important items, denying the items from your opponent. And just like here, you generally tend to see 2 Anarchies trade off, I think.
I love that though. Hearing that it just picked up the heavy armor and getting that rocket ready upon re-entry. Really well awareness.
Catches him through the teleporter, and again, actually didn't catch sight of him. Wasn't sure if Fazz had spotted him just yet. Using the injection as well, but not using it aggressively, just to try and survive, I think. But on the flip side, Vo, he's going to have his injection the second he needs it. 3 seconds on that heavy armor, no doubt. That's why Vo's down here to try and get stacked back up.
Tanking him up. It's weird seeing Tank at 100 armor after seeing Clutch for so long. It just doesn't seem like as much. Going in for the fight! That lightning gun isn't quite enough to finish him off, but very, very low. Fazz, a speck of life remaining.
And all he had to do was catch him with one more trail of lightning gun, and again, he tags him.
There we go, though. Still very low on health and armor. If Fazz can find him early, so he's found him. He's trying to chase. Can he keep up?
Definitely a momentum thing, isn't it? When you respawn, if you know that your opponent is weak, do you try and almost clean it up? Speaking of which, catches a couple of rockets, but not major damage. Fazz definitely still stacked up enough to fight if he wants to.
Of course, but Vo now setting himself with an advantage. 2 minutes into this round, 2.5 to go. Near enough. And again, if we do find ourselves being very slow here, he does have to champion him. Is he content going for the timeout? No, he catches him on the way. The Ghost Walk instantly pops to keep himself alive. That was a direct rocket on Nyx. She would not. You can see just how little health she has remaining after that.
Even before that rocket, I don't think Fazz wants to waste any time there. I mean, that's one of the things Ghost Walk can do. If you get caught out of position and someone's right up there and you know you can't survive, it's almost like a sort of get out of jail free card. You know, you can use it to escape a bleak situation and almost reset back to neutral.
It's a get out of jail free card if they don't read where you're going to go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If they follow you, it's GG's. Oh, catches a rocket. Very low on health. And Fazz once again is taken down. The lone visor to make a full comeback versus a very confident Vo.
I think if Vo manages to take this game, losing no champions in the final round, it would not only be a crazy good result for Vo, but a definite message as well to the rest of the competition. I'm here to play, and I don't care who I have to beat to get through.
Oh, he has control of the heavy armor once again. Mega health coming up very soon. Can he get there in time? Just look at how fast he is covering this terrain. Rocket jump through, sees him get the mega health.
Caught him in the air. All he has to do is land one more, and the trail does it. What a result from Vo, and an answer back. A crazy long set, but he just withstood the endurance and took out Fazz.
Brilliant sequence as well, though, at the end there by Vo, realizing that he's going to go for the mega health here. He needs that increased health to make that comeback. Rocket jumps straight up, right from the bottom. Just wonderful movement, realizing he's going to be there, knocks him into the air, hits a direct follow-up, and just realizing he hasn't got much health left at all. Quickly swaps to electric, lightning gun, and just that's enough damage by itself to finish him off.
I mean, that entire set was just a mixture of patience and complete aggression. You know, so, I mean, let's sort of break down what we just saw.